Did you stop? Application.
Is it me you're looking for? I see it in your eyes. Is it me you're looking for? I see it in your eyes. Is it me you're looking for? I see it in your eyes. Is it
Goes
me
are cool.
you're looking for?
Here's the noise.
I see it in your eyes. Is it
Goes
me
are cool.
you're looking for?
There's the noise.
I see it in your eyes.
Alright, I got everything else set
Goes
up.
are cool.
A little early.
Let's rock this motherfucker.
I see it in your bumpers ready. Alright, I got everything else set up. A little early.
Let's rock this motherfucker.
Yeah.
I do now.
Oh, I bet you're. Why do I hear you double? I don't hear myself double. What's happening? Seriously.
Now it should be.
Sucker MCs don't want to start some shit.
Can see it in your eyes, you guys. Better skin? Thanks for the beer, dude.
Yes, thank you.
Look at this. I'm drinking the rail splitter. Yeah, no, I know it's working now. I had a whole slew of technical issues right when I wanted to start early, and the story of my life. Anyway. Story of my life, you guys. So where are you at, Skeen? You on the road
He's
again?
in Henderson, Kentucky.
Why? I mean, Kentucky's fine.
I had some really good barbecue in Louisville.
Oh. It's freaking great. See, I should have redone my closet today, because now I'm looking at the shitstorm that is my closet. That's alright. Open a new wings, etc. in Henderson. Nice, dude. Ooh, 15 minutes? Oh, yeah, Triton Brewing Company. Never heard of them. It's delicious. I like it.
I like a lot.
It's my beer of the evening. Alright.
Let's get this ish on the road. We got 2 viewers.
Alright, let's get going. So you guys can hear us okay. Let's test the playback on the other stuff real quick. Well, I mean, don't you think it's worth testing now?
It seems the right people saw your broadcast to Theron. I just approved a landing request from
Well, I'm glad you were adjusting your chair during that part. Did you guys hear that okay?
an unarmed shuttle from the Chiss Ascendancy. The envoy claims he has a lead on where Theron went.
I'm
Hey-
serious. Like,
hey,
with the
Mark-
microphone, like, that's all I heard, dude.
Hey, Marshall, can you do me a favor?
Fuck off.
Could you bend over so I can pull that stick out of your ass?
One of us produces the show, one of us doesn't.
Yeah, but one of us is the talent.
Yeah, same person.
But I'm the pretty face.
Strike 3. All right.
I'm the white guy.
Done. Well done. Yes, you are.
And I can watch this teaser and not be spoiled.
Yeah, you finally finished the damn story. A year later.
Hey, Skeen, do you want a full-time job as a podcast host with
With me? You mean what? Oh,
Wow.
the burns continue. Okay.
I need some aloe for this.
Aloe vera for your burn.
All right, let's go.
You're very pushy. You started a little early. I was giving people time to get in. It's 1:45. We're starting 15 minutes early. It's fine.
I'm on the ball.
Shut up. All right, here we go.
Blast came from the Death Star. That thing's operational.
Dr. Banner. Now might be a really good time for you to get angry.
That's my secret, Captain. I'm always angry.
Super quiet. Anyway, hello and welcome to episode 114 of the Usual Podcast. A podcast where we discuss Star Wars The Old Republic, the Star Wars franchise, and geek and pop culture. I'm your host, Marshall, and with me, talking smack, as always, is my co-host, Will. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, I'm definitely talking smack. I have nowhere to go with there.
Is that all you got?
I got nothing tonight.
Whatever,
Seriously.
dude. Anyway, we're just sitting here enjoying our usual frosty beverages. What you drinking, bro? We got some good ones tonight.
We do. First, I had a Kolsch from, I believe it was North Coast Brewing Company with dinner.
Yeah?
And that was pretty tasty. And now, thanks to the legend that is the Skeen,
The man, the myth, the legend.
I am drinking a Sun King Brewery Oktoberfest German-style lager.
Nice, dude. Yeah, Sun King's good. I love when he sends us stuff from them. I am drinking, thanks again to the man, the myth, the legend, Skeen, is Rail Splitter IPA from Triton Brewing Company. And yeah, I'm digging it. He says it's only about 15 minutes from his house. And thank you, sir, for sending us beer. We'll be having some good ones the next few weeks.
I know. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Dirty Bastard next
I
week.
promise I won't drink them all. You know what? I'm not going to promise that. I'll drink some of them.
That's a promise you can't keep.
Yeah, well, there's beer in my fridge, so I'll probably drink it. Anyway, we're starting a little early tonight, but that's good, right? We have
Word.
people in the chat. That's
Yeah, we
good.
do.
So we're ready to go. So before we get started, if we have comments or questions, you can find us at theusualpodcast.com. Email us at theusualpodcast@gmail.com. And we are on Facebook, Google+, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. I am at Darth Pops on Twitter. And Will is at IMO Griggs. We're on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Google Play. You know, could you just somebody just rate something? I mean, we haven't got a rating in so long. I'm not trying to be that
it's
guy,
funny.
but
No, actually, there's a podcast company I listen to quite a few different podcasts from, Parcast, the
Okay.
Parcast Network.
Sure.
And every single episode, they say, "Hey guys, do us a favor and give us 5-star rating."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Most podcasts say it. I say it all the time.
you do.
No one does.
No,
But it's all right. I'm not holding it against you. Thanks for listening anyway.
you know, I'm even okay if you guys create some bots and do it that way.
Why would they not create bots? Anyway.
I don't know.
Anyway, we do have timestamps in the show notes for non-SWTOR fans. We got some cool SWTOR news this week, dude.
We have a ton of really good SWTOR news.
Yeah, and good Star Wars news.
Great Star Wars news.
We might have a trailer. Who knows? And, you know, we have some pop culture. It'll be a good show.
It's gonna be a good show.
It's not going to last forever, but that's going to be okay. We have vacation. We're on vacation this week.
Vacation.
Yeah, so we're going to bust this bad boy out and move on with our lives, right?
Yes, I'm going to go home and play some SWTOR.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to do the same. So thanks, everybody who's in the chat room. I know we started a little early. Thanks for those of you who joined us a little early. Hopefully everybody else will trickle in later, and we'll see how it goes. By the time the usual suspects get in, it'll be the time for the trailer, so that'd be good.
Yeah, we don't have any. We're not doing a trailer time this week, just because there's not. I mean, there are a couple I wanted to play. So keep an eye out for next week, because I am going to be playing Suburbicon,
Right.
which is the new George Clooney directed movie written by the Coen brothers, starring Matt Damon. Looks hilariously dark.
Well, that's cool. The main reason we're not doing trailer time, I think, this week is
We're
mostly
not
because...
drawing attention from.
No, I mean, look, we're going to have to... I don't want to... I would love to give our patrons an exclusive breakdown of the trailer, and we might do that at some point. But I want to do a reaction deal. Not a reaction. We've watched it a bunch of times, but we're gonna watch it, and we'll watch it with you guys, and then
Yep.
you can chime in, and we can have a good time. So that'll be good.
Word.
And we also have a Justice League trailer later too
Yeah, we do.
that we're gonna throw in there during the usual roundup. So let's get to SWTOR, dude. We got some stuff to cover. Let's go.
You want to fight? I'm ready.
You do not have to stand against me. Instead, I will share all of this with you if you will only kneel.
That's funny. Yeah, Skeen, you're not wrong. There's only one trailer that actually mattered, but we are going to talk about 1.5 other ones.
Yes.
The half is the SWTOR one, which, it's what?
Just
10,
like
15
we
seconds?
have 1.5 hosts here.
So,
Well, I guess
look,
it'd be more like 2. I'm the 1.5. You're the half.
do you want me to quit this early in the show?
I'm big.
Yeah, we got that, dude. Anyway, I'm glad you're here, buddy. We had dinner. It's time to go. Let's talk some SWTOR, dude.
Let's do it.
First things first. I put a link in here. We usually cover community stuff in the beginning. I threw in the link to Dolphy for the New York Comic-Con Cantina event. And apparently it went off really well. Timothy Zahn was there.
I wish I could have been.
Me too. And, we gave our 2 cents last week about how they don't come to San Diego and haven't been to a cantina in a couple years.
Ain't
and
that the truth?
I'm going to send a strongly worded email to Musco.
He won't read it.
Nope, he won't. But I'm going to send it.
We love you, Musco.
Yeah, but anyway, he's not listening. But yeah, so there was some stuff that came out of it, but most of it was announced with the roadmap before. There was some talk of ops passes coming back, which is good for people who
aren't subscribers.
Who are not subscribers, and especially since they are getting the server merges going.
Yes.
So, we want the queues to pop. We want people to be able to access that stuff. So I think that's good. The new GSF map is going to be above Iocath, which
Very
I think
cool.
is pretty cool. And the new Warzone is going to be Yavin 4, and I believe it's the same kind of play style as like Alderaan, where it's the 3 nodes. But I think it's going to be freaking cool, dude.
Very jungly.
Yeah, jungly. But yeah, that's pretty much all the stuff I think that came out of the cantina. I haven't been able to touch base with Elise or Zen or anybody who was actually there.
Right.
But hopefully we'll be able to do that in the next week or so and see if we missed anything. But I would have loved to meet Timothy Zahn. I know he signed some stuff. I know that event went really well and there was a lot of people there. So
I'd like to dig out my old paperback copy of Heir to the Empire.
Oh yeah, God, wouldn't that be great?
That would be awesome.
But anyway, yeah. So reach out to us if you were there and we missed something, and we can bring it up on the next show. It'd be awesome.
Absolutely.
I wanted to throw this out there too because Soturista tweeted us earlier today, and she put together this really involved story guide up on Reddit, and it's basically all the stories and like where you pick up the quests and how it progresses.
Oh, interesting.
It's really well done and really intricate.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, definitely do that, dude. I just wanted to give when people work really hard on a thing,
Yes.
I like to give them their due, and she worked really hard on that, and it's really cool. So definitely check that out. And there's a link in the show notes to that. And there was a reminder on November 4th, since we're less than a month away, we were going to be doing Extra Life.
Extra Life.
I already got my shift covered that day.
Nice.
So I'm stoked about that. So yeah, that's at least 12 hours of gaming with the guild. So definitely check it out.
We're doing that.
We're doing it. So what'd you do in game this week, dude?
I actually got a lot of game time this week, and I'm excited to say that I finally finished Chapter 9 of Kotet.
Nice.
And then I went right into Iocath.
Sweet.
And I ran through the Iocath story, and I even finished the Crisis on Umbara.
You did story stuff. I'm so proud of you.
I did story stuff. And I am all caught up. I'm ready for the teaser trailer we're going to be showing in a few minutes.
Sweet, dude. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, it was really good.
It's a good story, right?
It is a good story. I just had the hardest time beating the Valence spirit until I finally figured out the mechanics. I'm like, oh, all right, let me do it.
Right.
And it still took me a couple of tries, but I got it done. And then of course the battle with Valkorion to end it was pretty darn cool. Yeah.
Well, it's been a while. Like, we have never, since took you forever to finish that stuff, we actually never sat and talked about it. So
no, I enjoyed it. I hope it doesn't mean the end of Darren DePaul.
I doubt it, but it's hard to say. He's doing so many things now,
He's
dude.
so busy now.
He's a busy guy. He's all over Geek and Sundry these days.
Yeah, so that was really good. I enjoyed Iocath. I've just gone through the storyline once, and I've only done it supporting one side. So I'd like to go through it again with a dark side character supporting the other side, and
Right.
and trying that. And I'd like to see how my daily grind of it would work.
Okay.
Because it's funny, I actually enjoy the daily grind of Oricon better than I did the story.
Yeah, the dailies are fine on Oricon. I still prefer, like, I think it's probably just because I did, Black Hole and those things so many times. Like, I have the routine is just down. You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
I don't have to worry about any of that stuff, which is good.
So I did that. I finally got my Wampa to level 50, my first level 50 companion.
So proud of you.
So now I'm working on the Ithorian Jedi companion.
Nice.
He's at 31 right now.
Nice, dude.
Actually, I've got like 6.
How are you doing it? Are you just giving him gifts or?
Yeah, just through gifts.
Okay. That's the dog.
Oh.
In the laundry room.
Yeah,
Sorry.
just through gifts. I'm running dailies. I open up the
Yeah.
things and yeah. So that's the only way to do it. Except for I finally got the Wampa up. I just went on and bought 10 legendary gifts on the thing because I was just like, I gotta get 1 to 50.
Yeah, totally.
So
I usually just buy the lower level ones, and then I'll buy a bunch of the level 5 ones, and just spam it.
Yeah, and then I also finally put.
I have like 5 or 6 companions at 50 though.
I hate you. I finally put augments in my my relay and my 2 artifacts.
Oh, nice, good.
So those are done. So yeah, and I got the Greaves. So I'm only I'm my chess piece away from getting my full set.
Kick ass, dude. You're really doing it now. I feel like you're finally catching up with the rest of us from 2 years ago. What did I do in this week? I missed WOG, sadly. It was homecoming week at the high school, and oh my god, dude. By the time I was about to sit down at my computer on Friday night, WOG had just about started. And I'm just like, guys, I just don't think I'm going to make it. It was just too much of a
I saw
deal.
the Twitter chat between you guys saying, okay, it's 80% now.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to make it.
It was just deteriorating. I was like, I'm going to make it. No, I'm not. I might. No, I'm not. So it was very sad. But it went well. They ran Tithe. They ran the new op. And I think it went really well. So I'm happy about that. I'll be there this week. Can't wait.
Nice.
I've been just CXP grinding, basically doing dailies, and and I've also been doing the Embaro Flashpoint too, trying to get the tokens to get my train.
Yeah, I've run that.
That's gonna take me forever, unless I group up and do veteran or something. But
well, I've run through. You need 60 tokens, right? And I'm at 4.
Yeah.
So
I think I have like 15 or 16.
Yeah, so it's
going
to take a while, and I've only run through it once, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, no, I ran through it a few times. I have over a dozen, but it's just going to take forever.
Well, now that the Stronghold max is lifted to 10, I can go ahead and try for it.
Indeed. All right, man. So let's get to the news stuff. The servers went down on Tuesday.
Yes, they did.
And to put Game Update 5.5 up, and we're going to talk about the patch notes here in a moment. I was just going to leave it at a mo, but I didn't want to deal with your crap.
You didn't want to be that guy?
I didn't want to be that guy. But anyway, so there was what was I going to say? Oh, the major issue that came with the thing I didn't like about 5, I was really hoping they didn't fix this. Although there is a double XP and a double CXP week going on right now, the Uber dailies are gone.
Yeah, they fixed
and they're back to their original values, which is super sad for me. I'll be okay. They listed the scheduled maintenances for the next 3 months, basically for the rest of the year. And so for October, it's the October 10th, which we already have, is 5.5. October 24th, they're going to prepare for United Forces,
right.
Which is a big one, obviously. And in November, we're getting the first is tentative maintenance if they need to. November 8th is 5.5.1 United Forces. And then on the 28th of November is going to be Game Update 5.6. What I'm really happy about that they're doing is that even if that gets delayed, I miss Uber dailies too, little. Trust me. It's just not the same. But what I like is that they're implementing 5.6 in November.
Right.
And so even if they do get delayed, they're not all going to go on vacation and leave all the issues that might come with it.
Exactly.
So I'm stoked about that.
Yeah, it's not like they're releasing at the end of the first week of December or something.
Right. And they have a maintenance schedule for the 12th of December,
To fix any bugs, I'm sure.
6.1 exactly, and then back in maintenance on the 19th. So it's nice to know when the server's going to be down for the month, way ahead of time. So,
yeah.
And I imagine there'll be some delays here and there, but I don't think it's going to be the end of the world. And everything hopefully goes off well. And all the server merges go well, and everybody's finally happy with better than cross server, right?
Yeah. With all the behind-the-scenes hardware changes they're making, there is a lot of opportunity for possible bugs that won't happen until things go live. So please be patient. They're changing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, totally.
And just be cool with them because, they're trying hard to make this game great for us.
Yeah.
And so, seriously, be patient.
Wait till I get to controversy.
Yeah, don't be a douche.
There's some controversy this week, dude. I don't even know if you heard about this. It's going to be great.
I have not.
But before we do that, released with, I think, during New York Comic Con was the Traitor Among the Chiss teaser, which we're going to watch right now.
Let's watch it.
Good timing, Commander.
Why do I have no sound?
Good timing, Commander. It seems the right people saw your broadcast to Theron. I just approved a landing request from an unarmed shuttle from the Chiss Ascendancy. The envoy claims he has a lead on where Theron went.
If someone's spotted Theron, that means we can reach him before he makes a huge mistake.
A pleasure to finally meet you, Commander. Aristocrat Saganu of the Chiss Expansionary Defense Force.
You said you have information on Theron?
Information that will benefit us both. Theron Shan is hiding on the Chiss world of Kopero. He's receiving aid from Syndic Zenta of House Inrokini in exchange for Alliance secrets. With our help, you can catch them both unaware that we can't capture Theron without igniting a political war. But if a strike team were to land and take care of the problem, the Ascendancy will look the other way.
Let's bring Theron home.
Right? So, obviously, they got some help, some collaboration from Timothy Zahn for that story, and it is going to be a cool new Flashpoint, which I'm excited.
Yeah, I want to know where Theron found the time to hit the barber.
I don't know, man, but here's the deal. Well, we didn't... I don't know if we want to give too many spoilers away, but, I mean, the trailer kind of did anyway. But anyway, the point is we all need to go to the barbershop sometime. That's your answer.
Okay. Does that mean you're finally going to create a character that's not Chiss with dreads?
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Now you're just being silly. All right. So yeah, that looks cool, man. I'm actually really excited about all the new story. It's actually really, I like that they're doing it in flashpoints, and I like that it's compelling. It's pretty cool.
It is compelling.
Especially if Timothy Zahn's involved.
I dare your next tune to be a Cathar.
I refuse to unlock the Cathar. And that goes back to my EQ2 days, dude. And that's because the tune that I proposed to Kate on through EverQuest 2 was a cat person in EverQuest 2. So I'm not going to do it. His name was Raju.
All right. Moving on.
That was a lot of info. Here we go. All right, so we walked through that. Let's take a look at the patch notes real quick. We're not going to go through them all, obviously, as we never do. Don't give me that look. But anyway, like I said, double rewards are back. Double experience, command XP through the 17th. Starting now. By the time you hear this, it'll be just about over, but it's all good. Cartel Market. The interface is improved, and I did take a look at it today. It's actually kind of nice.
I haven't been in the Cartel Market since the update, but I do like the new interface in the inventory screen.
Yeah, that's good too. So there's a lot of UI changes, which I think are for the better. The Cartel Market interface I took a look at earlier today. It's actually kind of nice. And starting with shipment 10, each pack open increased the chance of receiving a platinum item, which is pretty cool. Which I like that change as well. Let's see. What else? Let's look in general. Are you looking at this? You're not looking at this.
No, I'm reading off yours.
Okay. Let's see. What do we got here? In preparation for United Forces, the stronghold cap is increased to 10, as we talked about earlier. And along with that, there's only going to be 5 servers shown on your screen when you log in.
Right.
And so if your server's not shown or you're trying to get to a server that you haven't logged into in a while, you just got to scroll. And you can get to it.
No big deal.
Yeah. Everybody knows how to scroll. Stronghold completion bonus for Conquest now total from all active strongholds, and it stays at 150. So, especially once the merge comes, if you had a stronghold and another one that was decorated and you get together and they merge them, then you'll get your 150 and you won't have to stress about that, which is good. Because I know there was some beef about that for a while. I like this too. Taxi points were added for Yavin 4 and Tatooine strongholds, which is pretty cool. And they finally fixed your intro cinematic.
Yes, I did, and I noticed that. And also, when I logged in, I didn't have to respec my utility points.
Yeah, and that was another change they did. But I kind of like that Yavin 4. That's one of the reasons I don't use Tatooine, is it kind of takes too long to run across. So adding the taxi points to make travel across the stronghold itself easier, I think is better.
So there's a
taxi point,
so you can go from one side of the stronghold to the other.
Essentially, yeah. What's the problem with that?
I get it. It's a big stronghold, but that's pretty funny.
Enlighten me. Why is it funny? You think people should have to run across an entire stronghold?
No, I'm just saying you need a. I think it's just like speaking story wise and RP wise. You need a taxi to get from one side of your house to the other.
Well, think about it. Think about it this way.
Okay.
Let's say you have one of those big sprawling mansions in the hills.
Right.
Right? And then you get your servant guy to put you on the golf cart to get you from one side to the other. Same.
I live in an RV, man.
Yeah. My house is like...
tiny.
Yeah. A few steps. Anyway.
It's not the Smurf house, but it's pretty small.
No. It's definitely not that small, but it's small. So, let's see. They fixed some other bugs. What else do we want to pick out of here? Completing a daily bonus activity now grants 200 bonus alignment, which is kind of cool. That's up from 150. And the pop-ups for Dark versus Light are going to indicate the status of war now appears every 90 minutes, up from 30. And it's the victory state is actually going to last 18 hours, up from 1 hour. I think that's a huge jump.
That is a huge jump, and I think that helps the people that don't play long hours each day.
True.
Because, you could... if you're just logging in once a day, there's a good shot you're going to be able to get in on that time. Whereas opposed to if you're logging in once a day for an hour and a half, the chance of you hitting that hour are not good.
And this also increases the chance to mobilize your people together to get those Dark versus Light bosses and stuff that pop up randomly. You can organize.
If people aren't online, you can actually, if you have a Twit group, you can actually, get them and get everybody online. It's hard to get that and then get the win within the hour.
Exactly. So that's good. I like that.
Word.
New achievements have been added for gaining command rank 300 with each class.
Nice.
Which don't know why that wasn't there in the first place, but whatever.
Well, it's because we're not Keith.
We can't be all. There's only one Keith, bro.
Word.
And we're not him. My name's not Keith. I can't have another Keith title for a show. Okay. Did you see what I named last week's show? Okay, anyway. New achievements have been added for killing other players on Iocath while in other forms, like piloting the walker, etc., which is good. And Commanding Legacy perk has been modified to allow a player to get to 25 CXP bonus for each mirrored base in their Legacy at command rank 300. And it stacks up to 100%. Example, Sith Warrior and Jedi Knight are both at command rank 300, only count once. That was changed, and we'll get to that in the discussion topic.
Okay.
Well, changed. Well, there's some beef in the community, obviously. And
shock.
If you jump down the forum on that one, I think this one's justified because the way they worded it before was not that way. But we'll get to it in a minute. Okay. Class and combat, like you said, utility points no longer reset. And creature companions that use the ability Power Swipe will no longer interrupt enemies that have boss immunity. I don't know what that means, but here we are.
Well, somebody like the Wampa, which has a Power Swipe.
Oh, yeah.
That was interrupting boss immunity when it shouldn't have.
That makes sense. And, I didn't even know this was happening. Corrected a combat log issue for when someone died. It would sometimes display as revived.
That's interesting.
I can see that being a problem. Okay, so I'm going to skip all of the class changes.
Yeah, you are.
Which I always do. So definitely check that out. If you are into class changes, you already know what's happening. There's a lot of nerfs, a lot of adjustments that they've been working on, and they told us about ahead of time anyway. And the other big thing is the changes for Galactic Starfighter happen.
Lots of changes.
And I thought like, oh, they're gonna do some stuff. It was
they like respect everything.
It was top to bottom. They buffed the Strike Fighter. They made adjustments, tweaks to everything. And I think it's really entertaining. And I actually want to jump in there and see how it goes. But you can definitely check that out in the patch notes. There's a link in the show notes. But it's pages of it.
It is
everything,
pages.
even the crew. They changed the crew stuff, systems, the way the shields are working, all kinds of things. So it's really, really extensive. So definitely worth checking out, especially if you're a Starfighter person.
Absolutely. Right. So Chuck.
Yeah, Chuck for sure. So items and economy. I don't know if I want to go through much of this, to be honest with you. But a companion customization vendor has been added to the Cartel Bazaar.
I like this.
On both fleets, which is cool. And this vendor sells opposing faction companion customization. So, for example, the Republic vendor will sell customizations for Vet.
Yeah, I don't know why they had. I mean, especially when they created the Alliance. I mean, because obviously, if you're a pub and all of a sudden you have Kaleo, you can't alter her at all, especially if you don't like her new burned face sort of thing.
Right, and that's the issue. And so that's, since we're the Alliance now, they had to make those changes.
You had to make it where you could get the cross-faction ones.
Yeah, so I think it's cool. What else do we have here? Command crate slot, which previously had a chance to only roll schematics, has been changed, like we talked about the other day. The slot now has a chance to reward schematics, command XP boost, command XP consumables, grand chance cubes, and autumn modifications from Galactic Command Gear. The chance of this slot appearing in a command crate has been greatly improved. So you're going to get more than just
schematics,
usual crap.
Right,
yeah.
Which I'm okay with the schematics right now because, like I said, I'm still trying to...
I have too many.
Well, I'm still trying to replace my, like I said, my chest.
Right.
So I need an MK3, MK4, and I just haven't had that schematic drop yet, and I don't play enough ops right now to have it drop that way. So me, that's...
Just kidding.
For me, that's the only way that I can get that stuff, and that's like how I got my boots and how I got my belt and that sort of thing. So for me, I'm okay with it, but I understand why they need to change it this time.
I hear you, man. Well, I think it's good. New stronghold decorations have been added for purchase in the iCath reputation vendors, which is cool. And 2 new Arkan companion customizations have been added to the Dark First Light vendor. 1 for each side.
Cool.
And let's see. The price for purchasing temporary abilities such as portable stealth generator and vehicle controls, such as the Walker on iCath, have been reduced. Because that was my beat before.
That was because like I said, I just have gone through the iOCath missions once. And one of the things you have to do is beat like 50 people in the walker.
Right.
And it takes you have to have like 600.
So many.
Something.
Hundreds of them.
Yeah. And I've got a couple hundred right now, but I can't do that quest until I get more of the thing.
Well, plus, you have to grind to get that amount. And then, if I'm not mistaken, it's not like you get that walker forever. It's a one-off.
Exactly.
And so that's super lame. So now that's been reduced, I don't know what it's been reduced to. I haven't been in
any
game to
reduction
check it out.
Good.
Exactly. All right, so we're almost done here. Mission and NPCs. Anything here you want to talk about? Oh, the command XP mission rewards have been corrected for Zerka, Oricon, Black Hole, Yavin 4, Section X, and Zyos.
Yeah.
And what else? I think that's about it.
Yep.
Yeah. Last thing, Warzones. The bolster in Warzones now raises a character's item rating from 242 up from 238.
Right.
Which is good, I guess.
Yeah, it's just making the bolster for the increase in gear.
Some people have a problem with it, but people have a problem with everything anyway. All right, so there was one bug that came with the scrolling, and it looks like what's happening is so essentially what happens is the scrolling takes priority. So it says there's a new user interface for the server select screen, which only displays 5 servers. So you need to scroll, which we talked about. Right. Now you can use the mouse wheel to scroll through pages of the Cartel Market and in collections.
Oh, really?
However, there's an issue where if either one is open, that window also takes priority for scrolling. So if you have the Cartel Market or collections open and you preview an item, if you mouse wheel up to zoom in the preview window, it instead will do the Cartel Market and collections.
I got that.
So you just have to close that window. And I imagine they'll fix that in the next update, but that's happening right now. And there's an issue with some sparkly eyes. I don't know if you noticed this on the login screen.
I've not noticed this.
People said they have sparkly eyes.
Well, my
Skeen says 242 means we'll live for 3 seconds longer. 3 seconds, you can almost quarter kill one guy, maybe.
Maybe. not if you're a sniper.
Well, and not if you're me. I'm a tank. I don't kill anybody.
No.
So sparkly eyes.
Yeah, my.
I think it's on the login screen. I guess you're.
Well, my rig is so
Yeah.
not friendly, so it's I wouldn't even recognize because I would still be on the splash screen.
All right. So let's get to the beef. Ready?
Yeah, I want to hear the beef.
A little bit of drama.
Where's the beef?
Where is the beef indeed? So so as I said a second ago, and here's what happened. So as we were talking about the roadmap, they said, okay, we're going to put in this new legacy perk. You get 25% increase if you get you can buy it if you get a tune to 300.
Right.
CXP.
But you have to buy the first 25%.
You buy the first one, and then what they said is other tunes you get to 300 will increase that up to 100%.
Right.
Okay? Well, they didn't say...
turns out the mirrors don't count.
No. It turned out that, well, people felt like they were being deceived. Okay? Because this is what happened.
Okay.
Eric says, I verified with the team that the current implication is intended, but I'm seeing some confusion around the perk. So let me explain how it works. Every time you hit Command Rank 300 in one of the mirrored classes, base class, you get a 25% base value for CXP. Since there are 4 sets of mirrors, you can gain 4 stacks of this buff up to 100%. So the issue is that if you love the gameplay of the Sith Warrior and you had heard them say, oh, like let's say you have 3 Sith Warriors at 300.
Gotcha.
You do not have 75%.
Right.
You have 25%. And that's pissing people off. Like, I'm really secretly hoping, really hope that they change this, because if you dive into this thread, like, because they never one time, and I watched the stream, I saw their rhetoric, they never one time said that it was going to be class or mirror specific.
Right.
I think somebody missed the boat. The programmers weren't speaking to Musco and them, and it's a big issue. So.
Well, I think that's why they have the max at 100%, because that's the max you can do.
Right. So somebody didn't tell Musco or whoever, the programmers didn't tell them that they were implementing it this way. And so they said, oh, yeah, so if you have 3 tunes at 300, then you get 75%. But they never said, like, it can't all be Sith Warriors. You have to have one of each class.
Yeah. And, I mean, I understand the way that they're doing it. I just wish they'd been more proactive in the way that they explained.
Well, and that's the beef people have. You lied to us. And I don't think they lied. I think they just miscommunicated.
No, just miscommunication.
But also, I'm with Too Little. It's not that bad because I'm still working on my first tune to 300. I have no other tune that's even kind of close.
Because we're not all Keith.
Well, again, we're not Keith. But the problem is, dude, some people are. Some people, like Mox has multiple 300s. And these guys have multiple 300s. I'm cool with that. But again, if you're really into one class and you decide to have 8 Sith Warriors at 300, that's awesome. But or half Sith Warriors and half Knights, it's still gonna not.
Yeah, if they can do it, what they should do is make it retroactive. Just go ahead and give it to 100% people that have it for regardless whatever now. Once you get past it, I mean, once we're past this date, no,
I'm with you. So I don't know. We'll see how this shakes out. I think they're going to. I don't know if they're going to change it, or if they even can change it. But I don't know.
Yeah, because we're not programmers. We don't.
Well, clearly. Otherwise, I'd be doing something else. We're definitely excited for Ready Player One. We talked about it, a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. I'm teaching it right now to my students.
Yeah, a few more months.
Yeah. So thanks for everybody who's in the chat room. We are going to switch over to Star Wars, right?
Well, is there something you want to bring up in Podcast Corner?
Oh, you son of a bitch. Your stupid face right now. I don't even want to give you that satisfaction. Okay, so you give me so much flack for you got me into Sans Pants, and now that's pretty much all I listen to. And you're like, oh, you're all about Sans Pants, and then you've been saying, okay, listen to this podcast, and then I started listening to it.
Yeah, you did.
And now you want me to talk about it.
No, I want you to say that you like it.
I do. I enjoy it. It's good, and I'm more excited. Okay, look, I'm not going to bury the lead. I've been listening to lore. After last week when we watched the trailer for the Amazon TV show that they're making out of it. Comes out tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have them all.
Or tonight at midnight, I hope.
Yeah, I'll have them all.
I might be staying up late.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll have them all done. All listened to by then, by the time I watch the show. And it's going to be great. It's really cool. It's history and supernatural. And it's really, really a neat podcast. And I like podcasts like that. I just don't. Look, I have 60-something podcasts on
No,
my feed.
I totally understand it.
Anyway.
I love the production value, and I knew you would like that sort of.
Yeah, no, I like history, but I also really like Sanspants does a show like that actually.
Right.
Jackson Bailey does Jackson Bailey Spooks America, where they it's a Patreon exclusive. So what they do is they sit around, they talk about they go more in depth and get silly about it.
Right.
But they'll try to speculate on why what's her name was put in the tree and stuff like that. That was one episode.
Okay.
Remember the one girl that was found in the tree? I don't remember her name. But anyway, long and short of it is Podcast Corner lore. Check it out. Starting tomorrow. Well, by the time you hear this,
up on Amazon.
Yeah, Aaron Mahnke teamed up with Amazon, and he is doing a really cool.
And the executive producer is from
Walking Dead. Yep.
And the showrunner is from the X-Files.
Yeah, so I think it's gonna be really well done. It's everything from cemeteries to insane asylums to Native American myths and stuff like that.
How
It's really
good
cool.
was that one about the tunnel being built in Pennsylvania?
That one, the second episode.
Yes.
Gross. Like that one gave me the chills, dude.
So good though.
That was really good.
Okay,
if you can get through that second episode without listening to the rest, I don't know.
Okay, there's a this little personal information, but there's actually a haunted mansion that my family built. It's in St. Paul, Minnesota. So those of you in the Midwest who ever it's called the Griggs Mansion, and it's rated as one of the 10 most haunted buildings in all of Minnesota.
Huh.
And it's huge, and it's got like 12 different ghosts in it, from what I hear and everything. So I'm kind of hoping that they eventually do that, or if Jessica Chobot's show about ghosts that would be cool.
Yeah, cool. I'm in.
All right, so on to Star Wars?
Yeah, let's get to Star Wars so we can start talking about this trailer. That's what everybody's in the chat room for. So when we watch the trailer in a couple minutes here, let us know what you think, and we'll throw it in there.
I was raised to do one thing. But I've got nothing to fight for. Nothing will stand in our way. I will finish what you started.
All right, so let's lead up to this, dude. So they decided to do it during Monday Night Football.
Yes, they did.
And ESPN actually used a Star Wars crawl to promote Monday Night Football. I didn't get to watch. I don't have TV anymore, so I wasn't watching Monday Night Football when it happened, but I did see the announcement it was going to happen.
Yeah, it's one of the perks of corporate synergy.
Yeah, so we basically, I have the link in the show notes to that. I thought that was pretty cool. And there is an interview that I haven't had a chance to watch yet, so maybe we'll watch it and then talk about it next week. It was
Sounds good.
it was like 15 minutes or so, but it's with Daisy Ridley. Apparently she raps, demonstrates a lightsaber, but she's so adorable.
She is. I would so watch it just to watch her rap.
Yeah, no, I mean, I have the link in the show notes, but what we'll do is maybe we'll do that part of our trailer time next week.
Okay.
But I thought that was really cool, so I threw that in there just in case I had a chance to watch it, which I didn't. And so let's get to the fun. The trailer dropped.
Yes, it did.
And it was pretty epic. So if you're one of those people, if you're in the chat room right now, you're probably not one of these people. But if there's a lot of folks, because I think even James Gunn came out and said, was it Gunn? No, Rian Johnson, right?
The guy who directed it.
Yeah. Rian Johnson said, avoid the. Well, I don't know why I said James Gunn. That's Guardians. But Rian Johnson said, if you don't want to, he clarified later. He said there wasn't necessarily spoilers in the trailer, but what he did say was that if you want to go into the movie cold, don't watch this trailer.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
It kind of got interpreted as don't watch it because there's spoilers in it.
No, but there's so much you can infer from it.
Oh yeah, and people are they're going to be doing this for the next 2 months, which is great. And we're almost exactly 2 months away. By the time you listen to this, we'll be 2 months away. Sweet. All right, so I'm going to prep this, get ready for the trailer. All right, and again, if you have not watched the trailer, well, you're in for a treat then. Here we go. Everybody ready?
When I found you, I saw raw, untamed power. And beyond that, special.
Something inside me has always been there. But now it's awake. And I need help.
I've seen this raw strength only once before. It didn't scare me enough then. It does now. Let the past die. Kill it. If you have to. That's the only way to become what you were meant to be. We are the spark that'll light the fire that'll burn the First Order down. Come on! This is not going to go the way you think. Fulfill your destiny.
I need someone to show me my place in all this.
There it is.
All right. Well, I'll leave that up there like that for now while we talk about this. Holy crap! So first of all, are the porgs just space penguins?
They have
They have little
feathers, though.
flippers.
They have
Little
feathers,
flippers,
though.
though.
Although I will say I was watching.
Don't penguins kind of have feathers?
I don't know.
We
Anyways,
don't know enough about penguins.
We don't.
Move on.
Anyways, one of the times I was watching it, one of the multiple times I was watching it this week, I was watching with our friend Michaela.
Yeah.
And as soon as the pork popped up, she goes, "I want one."
Well, porgs aside, all right. So what I did was oh, actually, I gotta get my other thing back. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. I wrote some stuff down, and I just.
Sorry, my bad.
It does look like they're gonna kill Leia, but there's another story in here I have for later that we'll just kind of talk about at the same time real quick about. Obviously, episode 9 had larger plans for Leia. She was supposed to do, we'll dive into that a little bit more later, but they had to figure out something after the fact.
And, and actually, once I heard, I'd heard that anyways, but after watching this trailer and the fact that it looks like they might kill her off, that might, in my mind, that might be the issue that Trevorrow was having.
Mhm.
That because he was going to have to rewrite a major part of the story.
Right.
Maybe he didn't know where to go with it.
Maybe.
And
Yeah.
that might be why they had to get rid of it. It might not have been anything to do with his ability or anything like that. He couldn't figure out a way to make the story work.
Interesting. Yeah. No, and Skeen, we're about to get to that. There is a lot of intentional misleading.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially at the end, which we'll get to in a little bit. But first of all, I started at the top. I said, who's Snoke talking to? In my head, it's the same. That first thing that he's saying to her before you see her do like the Matrix fallback kind of thing towards the end. You know how she's kind of being peeled away by his power.
Right.
You see that at the end there. I think that is a part of a conversation he's having with her. Is how I interpret it. And we already know.
That's the thing is with any of the voiceover in any of these any of this trailer.
Yeah.
You don't know who's speaking to who.
Right.
I mean, you know who's speaking. You don't know who they're speaking to.
Right. And I think I like to think. No, I'm going to say right now. I think. And going into this too, and we didn't say it ahead of time, but I intentionally have not listened to anybody else talk about this. I like to talk about this with you first, then I'll listen to all the stuff, then I'll edit the show or whatever. But there's a lot of theories out there. There's only one thing that I saw on the internet, and actually you can see it with his metal hand when he reaches for it. You can see there's a hole in it, Remember when he got shot
Right.
in Return of the Jedi?
Yes.
So anyway, I just thought that was
And
interesting.
that's when he pulls the glove on.
Yeah, exactly. But I think Snoke's talking to Rey. I think he's trying to entice her to the dark side. Maybe something happened with Kylo in between them, or he's trying to take her on instead of him. Maybe he's starting to shift or becoming weak in some way, shape, or form. So I like to think that he's talking to Rey.
Yeah. I have watched a couple of things that other people have said. Most, really just two. One is What Mojo from YouTube and the Nerdist News. So some of these thoughts are going to be mine, and some are just re-talkings of theirs. But one thing that one of them mentioned was that if you look at the editing between the so-called conversation between Rey and Kylo at the end,
Right.
There's fire behind Kylo. It's dark behind Rey.
Right. It's a totally different scene.
Yeah, it's totally a different scene.
Yeah.
So stuff like that.
I think Kylo reaching out, I just thought about this right now. I like to think there's going to be a scene between him and Leia at some point.
Oh, absolutely.
And maybe that's kind of that moment. I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking. Also, if you notice in that scene, he has a scar. But in the scenes later, in the other scenes where he's in the ship, he has the cybernetic implant in the scar.
Right.
So that's obviously before and after. So the time frame is off there.
Totally.
But also, that's another thing is he's got cybernetic implants now, so it's getting him to be more like
Vader-like, yeah. Any ideas why he abandons the helmet? I wonder if there's some falling out between him and Snoke, and maybe that was, you know what I mean? Like, he destroys his own helmet, and you see he's not helmeted. He doesn't have the helmet on in that moment where he's gonna shoot Leia. And so I don't know, at some point he abandons the helmet. Maybe he's not all the way dark. Maybe you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm wondering.
We already knew he was like kind of
waffler
at the end of the last movie.
Yeah.
But it could just be he doesn't absolutely need the helmet to survive like Vader does.
Right.
So maybe just when he's flying, he likes to fly without a helmet.
That's a good point. But why destroy it though?
Well,
he has a temper tantrum.
He's holding it while he's punching something.
Yeah, but he looks like he's punching a wall to me.
Doesn't mean the helmet. I mean, if your helmet falls apart with a punch to a wall, that's pretty bad.
He's a Force user.
I'm
just saying, bro. I think
I'm just thinking he might not be destroying the helmet.
Well, I think he's destroying the helmet.
I think you're reading too much into it.
Oh my god. So there's some speculation out there, obviously, that Kylo is going to go to the light side. I think that's BS.
No.
I think there's no chance of him going to light. I think that
if he is going to go to the light, it won't be until the end of the next movie.
Exactly. And I also like to think that maybe at some point he is going to try to entice Rey to the dark, but maybe they're going to try to meet in the middle somewhere. I don't know.
Well, this could be the whole concept of the Grey Jedi.
Grey Jedi, exactly. So speaking of Rey, I love the line where she says that she's awake.
Well, something has been awakened.
Something is, and so I'm wondering who she's talking to in that scene. Honestly, like, is she telling this to Luke? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And who is she asking for help from? Obviously, I don't think it's Kylo for sure.
It's not Kylo.
I think she's asking Luke. I think this is gonna be very early on in the movie where she's like, I need help. Something is awakened inside me. I need help from somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, I think it's that the way we're going to get to the Grey Jedi is going to be partially with Luke explaining like what the wills are.
Yeah.
What he's learned about the wills, because obviously we've seen the books with the wills emblem on his bookshelf.
Right. We also saw a cave too.
The cave thing, yeah.
Well, like in Empire, where he goes into the cave to fight.
Yeah.
She dives in. I think that's
I think it's going to be that Kylo comes to the realization that everything he wants isn't going to be given to him from the dark side. And then Rey understands that everything she wants isn't going to come from the light side. So I think we might see them team up.
Yeah.
But it's going to be in the gray area like we're talking.
And that was kind of one of my favorite parts of some of the EU stuff is when, the Solo kids were fighting side by side.
Yeah.
Like, those are some of the moments that always stood out to me. And it'd be kind of cool to see them to borrow like from SWTOR, like an alliance, like between the two, like they come together to fight Snoke maybe. But because I like to think that like Vader, maybe, or like Anakin figured out at the, obviously at the end of Return of the Jedi, that obviously, the Emperor was just using him and all this stuff and manipulated him all these years and finally resisted. Maybe Kylo comes to this realization and he turns to Rey. I don't know.
It could be, and it would be nice to see somebody redeemed before they die.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice?
Yes.
Like see him go on at least one quest.
Yeah, or one thing we also don't see is except for the fall of Anakin, we don't see like we did in the EU the light side people turning dark like Jason Solo,
right?
Even Luke, who decides to go undercover to the clone Emperor,
right?
And he turns dark, and it's Leia that brings him back. It's like we don't see that stuff in the film universe,
right? Before I forget, one of my favorite shots is the Luke's cybernetic hand.
Yep.
Like obviously a building came down around him, and I think that's probably Kylo probably brought something down around him. He survives, comes out
probably
and sees
the
sees his whatever he built burning. I thought that was a really
that's
cool
when
shot.
We're finally gonna get his hand on
R2 and just be like, oh my god, dude.
All right, so I'm just gonna list off what my 5 favorite things about the trailer were.
Okay.
Hamill is the effing man.
Oh, he's so good, dude.
He was so much intensity in that
like
scene.
his look when the ground pops, he's like,
yes, he's like what the F. The whole dynamic between Kylo and Leia, I think is
that's
very
gonna
cool.
be good.
The dynamic between Kylo and Rey, but I loved the fight between Finn and Phasma.
Phasma.
Did I say Plasma?
You said Plasma.
I meant Phasma.
But to be fair, there's plasma involved.
Good point.
In this universe.
But I dug that scene because I don't think Finn has gone back to the First Order. I think he's on an undercover spy mission.
Oh, I think so too. I wrote that in my notes too. I think Finn is very much like when he's walking, being shackled. It reminded me of Han being shackled before he gets put into carbonite.
Yes.
And behind enemy lines, he's gonna get led, and maybe he does get tortured or something after that, or something like that, or he's found out because he's trying to re-infiltrate or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I think Too Little brings up a good point that Disney wouldn't want to do a Grey Jedi, but I think this might be part of the thing of them bringing Iger in, like we talked about last week, is to get an okay on that. And I think Disney would approve it as long as they renamed it. Like you're not going to say it's going to be a Grey Jedi, but it could be a Padawan of the Wills or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. They're not going to say Grey Jedi, I don't think. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
But I think I think that dive into the water, he's down there. She, overcame whatever trial that is, found the books, does some research probably, and finds out, just like he did, that there's more to the Force maybe than they think, and maybe there's another path, which is what Luke's on.
Another thing is, Jessica Chobot mentioned this in Nerdist News, is that actually, and I haven't seen this anywhere else, but again, I haven't really done a deep dive into news about the film, like into rumors.
Yeah.
But evidently there's words that Rey is going to come upon a life tree, like a Force tree.
Oh.
And that could be the tree that Poe's parents
were
given.
Poe one, yeah.
Yeah. So I hope they, because that's something that I loved from the Shattered Empire comic that I wish they bring into the universe.
Well, I think eventually they might want to bring in some of this stuff from the comics. I mean,
they have to. Yeah.
I mean, I'm woefully behind on the comic stuff, but there was some cool stuff. I mean, I know there's some controversy about, when characters meet each other and stuff like that, but pull some stuff in like that, like make that connection with Poe's family and stuff. I think that'd be pretty cool.
The last thing that I loved from this thing, and actually I called it an ice fox. You call it a frost coyote.
Frost coyote.
From what I'm seeing online, evidently it's a crystalline fox.
Oh, it looks like a Pokemon.
It does look like a Pokemon.
So the Porgs do too, to be fair.
True. I think the Porgs are what they're trying to market.
Yeah.
I think for adults, the fox is what's going to be the cool.
Yeah, I think that's going to be badass, dude. We'll see how it goes. I don't know what their role is. They look like they're running from something.
Absolutely. I mean, it could just be a minor being, but
yeah,
I'm kind of hoping they end up doing a Funko of it or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool, dude. The last couple things I want to talk about too is obviously Finn versus Phasma. I like that conflict is still there. Obviously, Finn has serious resentment towards Phasma. Phasma was basically the person in charge of all the conditioning for the stormtroopers, at least for his unit.
I'm hoping that
his division.
At the beginning of the fight, she refers to him by his stormtrooper number, the
FN2187, something like that. Yeah.
And then he says, "My name is Finn."
Yeah.
And then they go into the...
My name is Finn, bitch.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's going to be good. But yeah, I like that they're fighting. I like her weapon. I think that's badass.
Yes.
I think that's going to be a cool fight. I kind of want I want her helmet to come off at some point.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, because she's
especially since she made such a big point of him taking it off in the first movie.
Yeah.
I want it to come off.
But she's such a cool actress.
She is,
and a really has a really unique look. I would really like to see that happen. I think it'd be cool.
I want it to like come off during battle or something.
Exactly.
Like he hits it with the.
That's what I'm hoping is the next part of the scene that we have up there. Is like he knocks it off, and then she's pissed, she's bleeding, and then they fight. That'd be badass.
Exactly.
Snoke's power was the last thing that I put in there, and I think going back to what I was saying earlier, the conversation I think is to Rey, but. He's going to try to do what the Emperor did with Luke and manipulate him, say, take your place by my side. Let's do this thing. Yeah. Like, here's all the reasons why you need to do it. I've never seen someone, really stroke her ego a little bit.
Well, he actually,
maybe she's waffling a little bit.
He used the term fulfill your destiny.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what the Emperor said to Luke.
Right. So, that aside, you see that scene where you actually see him in the flesh. He's pushing his hand out, and then it goes to her being blown back.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's slow motion or if she's just in so much pain that her body's curling in on it.
Well, I think it's a couple things. I think she's resisting.
Oh yeah,
and keeping her feet planted, but he's pushing her back, so it's almost like a Matrix bend kind of thing.
Cool.
And so she's like,
I didn't think about that where he's trying to force throw her, and
right,
she's like,
and
so
she's
strong.
resisting. That's what I'm saying.
That would be cool.
See, I interpreted it as that, as like she's keeping her feet on the ground, she's being pushed back, but then she's gonna pop back and fight back. So I think that's cool.
Skeen just mentioned something about Phasma's armor that I think is really cool. He said that her armor has deep meaning to her. So I'm guessing from the book or the comic, he's found out that she made the armor herself.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So if her helmet gets knocked off, that's a big slight.
And my guess is probably Finn knows that.
Oh, that would be awesome.
And that'd be a cool part of the story too. All right, man. So ice foxes and stuff aside, anything else that you think from the trailer?
I cannot wait.
No, I'm amped. Dude.
I am so amped.
There was one other thing that I was going to bring up. It looks to me that did we talk about the Leia thing? Him killing Leia? Not really.
Well, no, we kind of touched on it.
It's cut to make it look like he's about to shoot her.
Which he obviously has no problem with.
No,
he's already killed Han.
I mean, you see that, and that goes to Driver as an actor. I mean, you see it his face. He's just like, he's torn, and so there's a moment where he's gonna be behind in his ship, about to shoot something, and he's torn. Whether that's Leia or not, that's something else. But I think Poe's role, I think, is gonna be. I don't want to go out on a limb and say it's going to be minor, but I think it's going to be a little more.
It's not going to be centered on him as much.
No, and I think he had his main focus was obviously in the first one.
Yeah, but I
don't know.
I do think that there's going to be a major space battle, like in that scene.
Mm-hmm.
I think there is going to be a battle between Poe and his X-wing against.
That'd be sick. I would love to see that. Yeah. All right. Anything else you want to talk about trailer wise, dude?
I'm good.
Cool. So there was a poster that came out with it. Came out along with it, which I thought was really, really cool. If you haven't seen that, we have a link in the show notes.
Poster.
You can get your tickets now. And apparently, we can't. But if you live in those bigger cities and you have access to a theater that uses something like Fandango, for example, you can get tickets to the movie now. Obviously, it slowed down Fandango as it always does, but it is what it is. It didn't crash, so that's something.
Yeah, well, it's big because it did crash during Force Awakens.
Yeah, it did. Some tickets accidentally went on sale early, which I thought was actually kind of funny. It was some random theater. Hold on, let me find it because I thought it was funny. It's at Showcase Cinemas, a chain of movie theaters based on the East Coast, allowed users of their mobile app to purchase tickets from from The Last Jedi ahead of the official on-sale time. The company sent suspended ticket sales, and there's no word if they'll cancel or refund the purchases that people made early. So, I don't know. I thought that was kind of funny. Happens.
Yeah.
There's a really neat display though, in IMAX theaters, and I'm gonna put it up. I think I will put it up in the chat or in the feed real quick because it's worth checking out. And
is it?
Because I said so. The main reason being is because if you notice, it looks like it's light and dark side.
Oh, that's cool.
But who's on both sides?
Yeah.
Luke's on both sides.
That's interesting.
So, thoughts?
I would love to see Luke go dark.
Well, yeah. I've been wanting it since Empire, but here we are.
Yeah.
But anyway, I thought that was worth throwing over there just to see what people thought. And that was really what the reaction to this was. Is like, wait, if it's light side and dark side, why is Luke on both sides? So, Anywho, thought that was cool. Is that the dog? Nice. Okay. One more thing I want to talk about as far as there's a couple things with Rian Johnson. He's done a bunch of interviews, obviously, lately. He talked about the policy for spoilers with
don't do them
with Star Wars. But I thought this was really cool because he said a year ago, maybe even more than that, my producer Ram Bergman and I sat down with folks. With the folks at Lucasfilm and said, okay, this is what we're going to reveal here and there, and this stuff we're never going to reveal until the movie comes out. Johnson revealed. We came up with a no-fly list of under no circumstances is this shown or is that shown. So, and I know this happens in the movie industry, especially when it comes to this guerrilla marketing that they do with certain things.
Right.
And, they'll put memes up on deals and stuff like that at certain strategic times and revealing this bit of content here and there. But and he says it's a fascinating process. Something that for me, just having been a fan my whole life, suddenly being behind the curtain and seeing how it works and seeing how deliberate it is has been really fascinating. So obviously it's not an accident. They're like, hey, let's just put this trailer out. I mean, it's all meticulously planned.
It's all meticulously planned.
But I kind of love that. And I love the kind of manipulation of the fans almost because I being a fan, it's like we sat here for 20 minutes and talked about a 2-minute trailer.
Yes.
And we're probably way off on all of it.
Oh,
and I love that we are because we're going to go in the movie and be like, what? And it's going to be, that's part of the fun. I don't know. I think that's pretty cool. So Rian Johnson also talked about Carrie Fisher's role in The Last Jedi, and he says, she was one of Fisher's one of my heroes. He said this to Yahoo. She was so conscious of the place that Leia and I had, not just broadly in the culture, but very specifically in terms of girls who grew up watching Star Wars when Leia was the only female hero on screen.
Yep.
She really wanted to do right by that, drawing the character forward. That was something that she would always want to be pulling us back to. And he says, obviously, for me, it was fantastic because besides all the other benefits of having a fantastic writer like Carrie there by my side while we were making the movie, just having a voice that was like a compass needle that would always pull it back in the right direction. If this was the character, and he's quoting, "This is what the character means, and this is what we always have to make sure that she's serving with her strength and also with her weaknesses. Showed a fully realized character who's going to inspire the folks who grew up with Leia." I just love the way he put it. I thought that was really nice. I'm worried a little bit. I'm very sad, of course, obviously, because she's not with us anymore, and what they had to do for episode 9 and all that. But it is what it is.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Too Little brings up a good question on how planned are Ron Howard tweets and pics.
Mm-hmm.
So planned.
Mm-hmm. He's not just like, hey, I'm going to take this picture of the set and throw it out there. He cannot post a single thing about that movie unless he... And I bet they're like, okay, this week you're going to post this and this tweet. Do it on Tuesday. Do this one on Thursday. And next month you're going to put this up about that. You know what I mean? Like... It's not.
Yeah, and honestly, it might just be his publicist that's doing it in cooperation with Lucasfilm, whatever. Totally fine too. It's totally understandable.
Probably what's actually happening is there is a photographer on set, sending all these pictures to the person behind all of this, and basically saying, "Okay, what do we want to put up? What can we tease? How does this look?"
Exactly.
All right. Episode 9 news. Mark Hamill reveals Leia was meant to be a prominent figure in Episode 9.
Which is... It's been the worst kept secret in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, which we all knew this already, but one of the things I like this quote. He says, close all this crap. He said, "You're going to really love her in The Last Jedi," Hamill told the crowd. "I know they're going to try to find a way to close her story in Episode 9 that gives her the respect she deserves because Han Solo was more prominent in 7, Luke's a little more prominent in 8, and certainly Leia was meant to be more prominent in 9. So... and then Boyega told Coming Soon, "I think what's fantastic is it feels like it's coming back full circle. I don't know about the script, the story. I know where Finn's going. I don't know where Rey is going, but definitely I feel this is the war to end all wars in this movie." That's pretty cool. So, Yeah, man. Oh, Boyega said something else. He said, I'm interested to know how he will handle that. I'm asking so many questions that I haven't had a chance to kind of sit down and write JJ a message to say congratulations and I'm stoked. That's
well,
funny.
I mean, JJ's still doing the script, so
Yeah.
he doesn't even know everything yet.
Well, they'll get there. All right, buddy. That's it for Star Wars. Are we good on that?
Yeah, we're good. I'm sorry, I gotta go over my notes really quick.
Well, we'll be back in a moment. I'm going to talk to you guys. How are we doing? We'll be back in a minute. Any other thoughts before we get out of Star Wars there, kids? Nothing? Anybody buy their tickets yet? Yeah, I can't get soon enough. I hear you. Yeah, no, I'm waiting for my little theater to open up its ticket sales for it. I need to go down there and tell them to do that so we can start planning our party. I always have a little party over here. Nice. Yeah, I wish I had one of those theaters with the big recliner seats and bring you food and beers and stuff, but we just do a little pre-drink party at my house and then we go down there a couple hours early. My little theater, nobody gets there early in my little town.
No.
We usually still go at least, an hour and a half, 2 hours early, but nobody really most people show up late in this town, even for a movie like that, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
No, he's not. All right, so here we go. Let's get to the last section of the show. Don't flip me off, bro.
I can't imagine any kind of future where I'm a hero. Well, you're not. In the future, none of you are heroes. You're legends.
Before we get to the downer stuff, I'm stoked those shows are coming back.
Yeah, well, Supergirl and Legends have already started, and
Right.
tonight is
Flash is tonight, right?
Flash and
Arrow?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What the hell?
I don't know, your brain's weird. Okay, let's go.
Flash was on with Legends.
Yeah,
Arrow's
Flash and Arrow. Arrow is tonight.
Yeah, Arrow's tonight. Flash and Legends were on Tuesday. Supergirl was Monday.
Indeed. All right.
And Riverdale was yesterday.
Riverdale's tonight. Yesterday.
All right. So, as we do every week, we start off with, unfortunately those that we lost. And we lost Ralphie May this week. A lot of people don't really recognize him too much, but funny comedian, a big guy. He died of a heart attack at 45.
Oh, that's too bad.
He was the second place winner in the first season of Last Comic Standing.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Which is also... I believe Amy Schumer came out of Last Comic Standing. So did Eliza Schlesinger, who's one of my favorites.
Cool.
So, yeah. So, unfortunately, we lost him.
Yeah, that's too bad. Yeah.
45 is young.
It's too young. I mean, that's like... Yeah, it's too young. Close to 40 myself. I'm like, that's too young.
We got to get to the big bombshell news of the pop culture world this week.
Yeah, this has really been the forefront of all pop culture news this week.
It's not. I mean, I listen to. I listen to a particular news program, and she's actually been focusing on it for the last 2 days as well.
It's crazy. So, not to bear the lead here, but obviously Harvey Weinstein, founder of Miramax,
with his brother.
I remember, what's his brother's name?
Bob
Weinstein. I mean, he obviously was. Well,
basically, they were.
Long and the short of it, he is allegedly sexually assaulted and
sexually
harassed dozens and dozens of people over the years.
Yeah, I mean, and first of all, you can't minimize the impact that these two guys made in the world, in the pop culture world in the 90s. They basically made award season in art.
Right.
Starting with The English Patient, going to Good Will Hunting, and just everything else. Pulp Fiction was a Miramax. Disney used to own Miramax.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Disney still owns Miramax.
Right. It's a subsidiary.
Yeah,
deal.
they had to leave and form the Weinstein Company.
Right.
But anyway, so.
But what's crazy, I mean, this is the reason we have Kevin Smith in our life is because they gave him a chance
Right.
with Clerks.
Miramax was Clerks.
Yeah, and so it's heartbreaking. So I have a couple links in the show notes here. One obviously is Kevin Smith is clearly ashamed after
absolutely.
hearing this, and a dozen other actors talking about how appalled they are, and really what it comes down to is just because these people are in a position of power and a position of wealth doesn't mean they can do whatever they want to anybody they want.
Absolutely.
And apparently he was doing this for a long time. And people
very organized. I mean, like he had
Yeah.
assistants that were in on it, and they were afraid for their jobs. So of course they were doing.
But that's the power thing. That's
Exactly.
like, I own you because I'm employing you, so you're going to do this for me, and you're not going to say anything.
You know,
And
once you talk about the Kevin Smith one, and then actually I have a story I want to tell about Seth MacFarlane about this, which is really interesting.
Well, the Kevin Smith one really is essentially that. He tweeted out, saying he's ashamed, and it's too bad because he financed his exact words were he financed. Let me find the tweet. It says he financed the first 14 years of my career, and now I know while I was profiting, others were in terrible pain. It makes me feel ashamed. So, it was everything from Clerks to Dogma. Was Miramax.
The stuff he doesn't own anymore.
Yeah, the stuff he doesn't own anymore. But again, it's really too bad.
Yeah,
So.
it is frustrating. The Seth MacFarlane story that I love out of this is that you got to remember when Seth MacFarlane hosted the Oscars back in 2013, and they were announcing the nominees, which they do like 5 o'clock in the morning in January.
Right.
He was up on stage with Emma Stone, and they were announcing the 5 best supporting actress nominees, and so he listed them off, and then he made the snide joke that. Congratulations, ladies! You won't have to pretend like you're attracted to Harvey Weinstein anymore.
Oh.
And the thing is everybody in the audience, of course, knows, and they knew the rumors,
right?
So they're all laughing, like
they're
darkly.
correct. Yeah.
But of course, he didn't explain what. This week he came out and explained that a woman that he had worked with numerous times, who had done some work on Family Guy, played the Bear's wife in the 2 Ted movies.
Oh, yeah.
Had been trying to get a role through Miramax, and Harvey Weinstein had done something.
Right.
And she had confided in him, and that was his way of
kind of
fighting back.
Yeah.
Because she wasn't ready to go public about it yet.
Right.
And so, and that just shows what a cool guy. And so Seth MacFarlane came out, I think it was on Instagram or Twitter this week, telling that whole story.
Well, and I think it's interesting because LAND is right. A lot of people obviously had to know and covered for him.
There's a whole rumor that it was either Matt Damon or Ben Affleck had paid for a lawsuit to go away.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that might just be.
There's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be spinning around this for a while. When we get more, I guess, concrete stuff,
Right.
we might come back to it. But really, all I really wanted to say around this is basically what Skeen said. I have 2 daughters. He says he has 3 daughters in the chat. These are the type of guys that scare the crap out of me. Like, I don't want my daughter to feel like she has to do stuff like that in order to, get to where she wants to be eventually. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. And on the one thing, the plus side coming out of this is that he's done it so recently that this is definitely going to go in front of a grand jury.
Yeah.
This isn't like what we were dealing with Bill Cosby, where he's done it for over 50 women, and like only one is within the statute of limitations.
There's enough of them.
A lot of women can get closure with this.
Yeah. Which, and I, what I'm hoping, I'm with you too, Little. I hope that it doesn't come to light that, some of my favorite people like Kevin Smith and these guys actually knew about it and kind of turned aside a blind eye, So I hope that doesn't come to light. But we'll keep an eye on the story. I don't want to spend all day talking about some guy like this, but it's important. I think like Skeen was saying, these are the type of people that need to be called out and taken care of sooner rather than later.
Right.
Can't go on that long.
Absolutely.
So, all right, man. Let's get to some more positive things.
Yeah. So we're into real reviews. We've got some TV news.
Yeah. Archer season 9, Danger Island, which we got some info on when we were at Comic-Con,
which is so cool.
I have a link in here that talks about the story and the characters reveal. I just want to read one thing on this. It says, here we go. New character breakdown is, this is great. Archer, Pam, and Mallory will be working at the resort. Okay.
Nice.
Archer is going to be an eye patch seaplane pilot. Mallory, a surly bartender. Pam will hilariously be portrayed as Archer's bombshell sidekick and co-pilot. And Krieger will become Archer's smart mouth parrot, Crackers.
Awesome.
And Lana will be an exotic princess. Cyril's going to be an English real estate mogul looking to buy up the island land and presumably bed said exotic princess. And Cheryl will be a newlywed heiress honeymooning on the island who gets left stranded there by her husband when he catches her in bed with Archer. Which just makes a whole lot of sense.
Of course.
It says a fun premise, no doubt, but one that puts the show itself on a dangerous island of fan opinion. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but whatever, dude. Dreamland is cool, and I don't want to read the other part about the story yet because I haven't finished Dreamland. I just realized on the way here, but I'm going to try to finish that tonight.
Cool.
So I'm excited for season 9. I love Archer.
Yes. All right, we got a couple of casting news here.
Yeah.
Jared
Has this
Leto,
been confirmed?
Yes. Jared Leto has
Oh.
been confirmed to play Hugh Hefner in an upcoming film.
Cool.
I'm guessing it's going to be early days.
Will he have the things in his teeth?
Oh. No.
A Joker reference.
But I'm sure this is going to be Chicago days, not Beverly Hills days. Also, Kate Winslet has signed on for the Avatar sequels.
Oh, that's cool.
Which gives it a huge step up, in my opinion. So
For sure. Yeah, if she signed on, that means the story is probably legit,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. I mean, obviously, she has a huge history with Cameron because of Titanic.
Sure,
So-
but still.
So there's that, but still.
She's not going to be like, oh, okay, I'll do you this favor and
No.
do this, blue people movie you want to do.
Exactly. We got one, not for sure release date, but we got a for sure year. That this Fast and Furious spinoff of Jason Statham with The Rock is going to be 2019.
I love it. Well, more Fast and the Furious.
Well, which is great because as of right now, they're doing a Fast and Furious movie every 2 to 3 years.
Right.
And I think the next one is scheduled for 2020. So having this one come out in 2019 is great.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah, let's get to Universal stuff. We've got Berlanti news. I guess Victor Garber is going to leave Legends of Tomorrow. Did you hear about this?
You know,
and this has to do because he's a stage actor, and
yeah, he loves the stage.
He got let me grab the play. He got a role, and people were wondering how he was going to pull this off. So he's been on Legends of Tomorrow, and I love his character. He's the other half of Firestorm. If you watch the show, he's a brilliant actor. I really like him a lot. He got a job. Oh yeah. Returning to Broadway for Hello Dolly, alongside with Bernadette Peters.
Oh,
and
you can't turn down being with Bernadette Peters.
Right, and so the two will be taking over for the current leads, Bette Midler and David Hyde Pierce. And given the show's production in Vancouver and the grueling schedule for filming a full season of episodes, it makes sense that Garber would leave Legends. The Broadway show schedule is 6 days a week, 8 shows per week.
Yeah, it's
there's nothing else you can do if you're doing that. It's insane.
No, because you have 4 days of single shows and 2 days of matinees.
Exactly.
So yeah, if you're on Broadway, you're on Broadway.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd have time for anything else.
Exactly.
You kind of can see it's an ensemble show, right? So
Right.
the characters come and go all the time. They're adding a couple of new people this year.
My concern is he's one half of a legend.
How's that going to affect the other half?
Yeah, they're gonna have to write him out somehow, or kill them off and not have Firestorm anymore.
I don't know. Or maybe have him get lost in a time ripple somewhere.
Maybe. But the cool thing is it is a time show, so when he does get time, he can always come back.
Exactly.
Right? But I mean,
now on the other hand, we just started watching Orville this season.
Oh,
and he
yeah.
was in the first episode.
He was, yeah.
He could still be doing bit parts and other things.
True.
So Justice League, tell me what's going on with that.
We're gonna watch the new trailer for it.
Word.
I haven't seen it yet. Have you?
I have not.
Well, here we are.
Let's watch it.
Let's do it.
One job. Okay, so I'm just kidding. I'm just fucking with you. All right, so we're gonna watch the Justice League trailer. I haven't seen it yet. Mostly because I like watching sometimes I just like watching these things and talking about them. We usually do this during trailer time, but you still flip me off. So I'm just trying to give the people their show. And you didn't tell me, but we still had this up, so that's cool. All right, ready?
Let's do it.
All right.
take that as a yes.
What?
The ring.
The world remains in mourning after the death of Superman. Violence, acts of war, and terrorism are all on the rise.
I had a dream. It was the end of the world.
Invasion.
I think it's something more. Something darker.
We're asking people we don't know to risk their lives.
Strong man is strong as alone. You ever heard that? That's not a saying. That's the opposite of what the saying is. Divided, we are not enough. The world needs Superman. I made him a promise. This is why I brought you together. Ride ain't over yet. My man.
Oh, awesome. As a bat signal, that's your. Oh, sorry. It's your signal. That means we have to go now.
Yeah, that's what that means.
This is so cool.
I mean, he's no Grant Gustin, but
No, but it's.
but yeah,
Momoa's cracking me up though.
Momoa looks great.
I mean, he's like he's quipping, he's flying through the air. I think
My man.
my man. I think that's badass, dude. That looks fun. I don't know. I obviously Superman's gonna come back at some point, but I like that. I don't know. It just looks a little more fun than some of the other DC stuff.
Yeah.
Although there's obviously the darker part of it, but you know.
But see, that's the thing about DC is DC's always darker than Marvel.
True.
Every time, and I'm okay with that.
Me
I like
too.
the dark.
I love the dark. I just want the dark to be well written.
Well, I obviously like the
And
dark
makes
'cause
sense.
You've been my friend for 20 years.
Always got to bring it back to that. But yes,
I was
you're right.
talking about your dark hair, my man.
Okay, buddy. All right. What? I lost my. Hold on. Hold, please. Oh. There we go. All right. Let's get back to this. Any other thoughts on the trailer?
No, I think it looks really cool.
Yeah, it looks fun. Boom. Oh. I have two stories in here that are the same thing. You do see the teamwork, which I think is kind of cool. You see Cyborg helping, obviously a man out of water. See what I'm doing there? Fight in the air. Which, is there going to be water battles? Because why get Aquaman? Doesn't he have sea things to do?
We'll see.
Really? Really? Oh, you're killing me, dude. Disney news. Because I can't talk to him anymore about these stupid puns. DuckTales, Baymax, and more Disney characters are going to explore the Haunted Mansion.
Ooh, tell me about this.
And this is a show. Okay, hold on, let me find it. We learned that the 99 Happy Haunts are set to appear in a series of stop-motion animated on-air promos set in Disneyland's version of the Haunted Mansion, debuting on Disney XD beginning Saturday, October 7th, which it's already passed, I guess. And the first one features the lovely Baymax from Big Hero 6, and you can check it out below. So that's pretty cool.
Absolutely, I'm going to be checking those out.
What? I don't know what he's talking about. But anyway, yeah, no, that sounds cool. And I guess we're going to have DuckTales and some other folks in there too. So I think that's cool. Stop motion? That's badass, dude.
That's going to be cool.
That's a really cool way to do Haunted Mansion, though. For sure.
Absolutely.
And
We got one bit of Fox news
Yeah, go
here.
ahead.
And we've been off and on with Gambit for a couple of years now.
Since we started the show, we've been talking about Gambit.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's come out this week that they finally got another director.
Oh, it's about time.
Gore Verbinski.
Who's that?
The guy who directed the first couple Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
Oh, neat. Okay.
I believe he also did The Mexican with Brad Pitt and James Gandolfini.
All right. Sounds good to me. Let's see if he stays and see if the movie happens.
I like Verbinski, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah, same here. There's a bunch of a little bit of Marvel news. Basically, just Kevin Feige doing interviews. This will all go pretty quick, but Kevin Feige says Marvel's next 4 movies are very different and unique. And
well, yeah, I mean, we got Black Panther, we got
Right.
Thor, we got Captain Marvel, and Infinity War, right? Those are the next 4.
Yeah, what I like is what he said. He said, all of the next films by design have been built to be very different, to be very unique. Ragnarok, Black Panther, certainly, as we get into Infinity War, and even Ant-Man and the Wasp, which is nearing the end of their production period right now. All 4 of those movies are distinct and special, and I can't wait for people to see. Thankfully, they get to see Ragnarok starting now. And this was at the red carpet for Ragnarok. I couldn't be more excited about Thor Ragnarok, mostly because it just looks like just an absolute blast.
Yeah, well, that's coming up in, 3 or 4 weeks?
Yeah.
And it's like only a week or 2 before Justice League.
Exactly. Let's see. Oh, this I thought was really interesting. Thor 3, Avengers 3 and 4 are going to include sort of a Hulk trilogy storyline.
Well, people were wondering if Ragnarok was kind of like going to be an introduction to Planet Hulk.
Right. But the other thing is people were asking, like, are we going to get a Mark Ruffalo standalone Hulk movie?
I think this is just going to be their way, because
this is how they're going to do
it. Yeah,
it.
because they don't want to do another Incredible Hulk movie, considering the one with Edward Norton is technically within the MCU.
Right.
So if you do another one, you've already kind of bypassed the whole thing. Just do it the way they're doing it.
Here's what Ruffalo says. He says, this is to Cinema Blend. He says, so basically Kevin Feige pulled me aside before this and said, if you were going to do a ... if you were going to do a standalone Hulk movie, what would it be? And I said, I think it should be this, this, and this, and this, and this, and end up like this. And he's like, I love that. Why don't we do that in the next 3 movies, starting with Thor 3, and then when we go to Avengers 3 and 4? And I was like, that sounds great. And so we're at the beginning of this arc. So
Yeah,
I think that's cool.
That's the great thing about doing all these ensemble pieces, is that you can have storylines involving characters go over multiple movies. Yeah, it's the way comic books work.
Right. And I think and this is how storytelling works. And I just like that they're going this way. And and starting with Thor 3, it looks like a blast.
Yep.
Kevin Feige also said Avengers Infinity War trailer is going to hit before the end of the year.
Well, I'm guessing it's going to be on Ragnarok.
Well, he just said it's going to be before the end of the year. Don't put words in his mouth, okay?
I would say either Ragnarok or Star Wars.
Probably Star Wars.
All right. What else?
My guess is Star Wars. New Mutants is going to have a trailer. It's coming out tomorrow.
Awesome.
And as we're recording this tomorrow. And it's happening at midnight tonight, or 12:01, I guess. But yeah, New Mutants. We're going to get a trailer.
Very cool.
So next week we'll throw that in trailer time.
Oh, have you watched The Gifted yet?
I have not.
I have not either, so I'm going to be definitely watching that this weekend.
Yeah, actually, Kate was interested in that too, so we'll try to watch that before next week maybe. And one Black Panther news, Chadwick Boseman, he kind of explains why he doesn't have a secret identity, and I guess this is on Jimmy Kimmel, and he says, there's still there's a certain like fear factor that mask creates. And there's a legend around the character that has been created. I guess you would either have to go to some of the comic books or see in the movie, but there's an aspect of it that's like, this is Black Panther. Is this Black Panther thing real? You don't need the secret identity because there's still a mystery of the Panther's prowess. So I think that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like that there's a legend kind of around him, and so
it's also very similar to like how DC deals with Vixen.
Mm-hmm.
It's that it's not one person; it's an inherited role.
Indeed.
So it doesn't really you can't have, because you're going to have a multi-hundred-year-old.
Yeah.
You got to have what he says, you have an aura of mystery around
right.
the
basically passing the mantle to someone else eventually. Right. All right. So convention news. There's actually some convention news.
Ooh.
Kevin Feige, I think, as all these conversations were happening, was asked about the possibility of a Marvel con. And as of right now, that's a nope. But I think it's interesting because they're kind of coming and going with San Diego Comic-Con, but really their big thing right now is D23.
Yeah, well, I mean,
lots of success
with,
at D23.
Yeah, well, with cons just becoming more and more popular, you can have much more targeted cons, right? I mean, like they've got podcast cons now and stuff like that. So you can still go and do some stuff at Comic-Con, but then what you could do instead of Comic-Con in July, you can have like say every April you can do a Marvel Con at the Anaheim Convention Center.
Right.
It's very similar like they do D23. They have Star Wars Celebration, you know.
Right.
Just do that.
So this is what he says. He says, over the years, there have been some discussions about that. I think what we try to do occasionally in San Diego, we're very proud of and think it's a fun tradition. That being said, I think Star Wars Celebration is pretty amazing. I've been to a few celebrations, and the idea of doing something like that, I think we have enough content, enough fans, enough ideas that we could easily do something like that. I'm just not sure where or when. So it's not like it's something they're talking about, but it is something that has been sort of banning back and forth a little bit. All right, so San Diego Comic-Con news, the badge prices are out.
All right.
And the only reason I put these two stories in here, returning registration is there's some details about it, but there's no date yet. And San Diego Comic-Con 2018, the badge prices are out. The reason I'm putting these in here
because we don't have to worry about either one.
We don't have to worry about it, but some of our listeners might.
Yes,
and if you're interested in coming to Pucked 3, or if you are, and I did send this out to some of our friends who have podcasts. Again, I think press is still open. So if you do a podcast, you've been doing it 16 months at least, and you have the content, and you want to come to San Diego and not have to worry about badges, that's the way to go. And if you want to come to Pucked 3, but definitely we'll be there regardless. We have our press passes, but the prices went up just a little bit, as most things do. So the 2018 badge prices for open registration, they're $63 for Thursday. And Friday, Saturday is $60 and $42 for Sunday. So instead of last year, I think it was $260 some, it's $276 with preview night.
Yeah, I think it was $268. So it went up $8.
Yeah. So it's not too bad, but again, definitely jump on, get a member ID, and join us for Puck.
Jump on it.
But yeah, man, that's all I got.
Sounds good to me. I think
New York Comic-Con. Did anything come out of that? Anything significant? I didn't dive much into it, and I realized it.
Into it, but nothing really explosive.
Well, that was interesting. Anyway, I'll probably cut that part. Anyway, so anything else, my friend?
No, I think that's it.
Cool. Thanks for tuning in to The Usual Podcast. If you have comments or questions, you can find us at theusualpodcast.com. Email us at theusualpodcast@gmail.com. And we're on Facebook, Google+, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. I am at Darth Pops on Twitter. Will is at IMO Griggs. When you see us on iTunes and Stitcher and all that, give us a 5-star rating. That'd be awesome. And share us when you see us. The other thing, if you want to support the show, if you want to give us $1 or $2 an episode and get some extra content that we do, trailer time, blooper reels, and all that kind of stuff, you can do patreon.com/usualpodcast. And yeah, man.
Hear me swear like a sailor.
Yeah, it's a great way to get some additional content and support the show. And you can also go to audibletrial.com/usualpodcast, get a free audiobook, and that also helps us out as well.
Yeah, the new Dan Brown book just came out this last week. Origin, it's the new Robert Langdon book, so I recommend that.
Indeed. All right, man. Anything else?
Yeah, everyone make sure you have a fun.
Yeah, have fun. We'll see you all next week.
Peace.
Thanks, chat room, for being there and being awesome.
Word.
Skeen, Too Little, you guys are awesome. Elandia, if you're still there. Raz, thank you. Oh my God, my arm hurts. Anyway, I'm glad we got started a little early.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We will catch you all on the flip side. Thanks for contributing to the show. Next week,
flippity-floppity.
Next week, hopefully I'll have more stuff. I can give away some prizes and stuff for folks who join us in the chat room. Musco's not currently returning my emails. I think we're having a fight. I'm joking. But I'll get some more stuff. But thanks, guys, for being here. You guys are awesome. Enjoy the rest of your evening. All right? Skeen, thanks again for the beer, man. It was delicious. It's gone. It's all gone. All gone. Later, guys.